So Noelle, you mentioned earlier that you are more confident in it sounds like several areas of your life. And I'm just curious, how has that impacted other areas of your life?
I mean, confidence has definitely shown in a lot of areas. I mean, even in like the intimate area of before, when I was in my bigger body having sex, it was very much like lights off, under the sheets, don't look at me. It was always something that I was trying to hide. And especially having sex and being vulnerable and being naked, like, and not being comfortable with your body, it was almost not something that you dreaded, but it was such a thing that was in your head of like, what is this other person going to think of me? And it has been such a change now, especially with the confidence I've gained, that now I'm like, lights on, sheets off, like laying down, like, look at me.
Like, let's do that.
Yeah, it's been so amazing just to be confident in my body and not worrying about what the other person thinks of me. It's such an internal thing. And I mean, it didn't happen overnight. Like, it was definitely a fake it till you make it, that I was like, I'm going to be more confident. I'm going to be more confident. And then I just like look at myself in the mirror and be like, yeah, this is good. I like what's going on here. And I really owned that confidence. And now when it comes to like sex and intimacy, it's not something I fear. It's not something I'm worried about. What are they going to think of my body? Because I am comfortable in my body and I am happy with what I see.
And I love that you just said that, because I was going to say it's because I imagine it's because you are more confident in your body and you feel great, and like maybe you just feel more confident walking around naked,
Yeah,
right? In general.
That's new. That's a new thing.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I love that you were able to make that connection, that it's not that you're doing this for somebody else, right? Like, you feel great in your body walking around the way that you are. And then it's just a natural transition that's going to happen with others in your life and in the bedroom as well.
Yeah. Before it was such a concern of what are they going to think of me? And now it's, I don't care what they think of me. I know me, and I am confident in myself. And now I almost like show myself off, like, oh, this,
as you should.
You want this, so it's been such a fun and exciting change that it went from something I dreaded to now something I'm like proud of and I show off.
Yeah. And I'm curious, since you've been on the GLP-1 now for a year, is that right? And I imagine it wasn't like all of a sudden one day, like you said, but can you kind of think back to when you think the shift happened? And I know it's been a slow shift, but was it like at a certain weight loss? Was it at a certain time of you being more confident in your skin? Was it like 6 months in? Like, and everybody's different, of course, but I'm just curious to hear from you kind of when when you noticed the change, I guess is the question.
It was definitely a slow progress. Something that I have done since I started taking a GLP-1 is every week when I would do my shot, do my weigh-in, I'd also take a picture of myself in the mirror. And I was just wearing like a bra and underwear, but I wanted to be able to see. And it was crazy that, through the weeks as I was taking pictures of myself, I liked what I was seeing. I saw the transformation, and it gave me that confidence to be able to look at the different pictures and be like, I look good. So there's definitely, I probably maybe like 6 months in, and I was able to scroll back and see where I came from. And I think that's so important when you're on a weight loss journey, and when you're doing this, you have to document it, because you don't remember back. You don't, you look at your face every day that you're like, I look the same. I haven't changed. And it wasn't until I looked at my picture from a year ago and I was like, oh my gosh, that's what I looked like. That was me. And not to say it in a negative way, but just you don't realize the transition that happens, because it happens just so slowly and gradually that all of a sudden one day you're just like, oh my gosh, like I'm in a different body now.
And actually what you were doing, without knowing it probably, is you were exposing your brain, right, and your eyes to this newer version of you, right, on a more regular basis. Because again, if we would have waited and like say did it at the beginning and then do it now a year later, it would be such a big difference that it would probably feel even very different, as opposed to being like, oh, there's been slow progress, as it should be.
Yeah.
Slow progress. And I see the change each time. And even taking the time to look and be like, this is what's changed, even noticing other changes in your life with like maybe more energy, maybe even in the bedroom, but But those changes, like really identifying them and saying them to yourself, also helps with that body dysmorphia that a lot of people experience with a lot of, weight loss and changes.
So, I mean, I've been feeling very confident in my body, especially in the bedroom, but there are times like my boobs are not what they used to be, and they're smaller and lower, and my hips are great, but they're also a little saggier, and my stomach is looser. Like, there are times where I'm not feeling as confident about myself. And I think I definitely tried to push through it. But is there a way to just like be more confident and comfortable in my body, even though there's less of it? And yes, that means sometimes like I have more energy and I can do more things, but sometimes you're like, oh, wow, my boobs are really hanging low right now. Like, how do you balance that out?
So I think we have to accept the reality of it, right? That your body has changed, and with weight loss comes other changes, right? And it could be weight loss due to GLP-1s. It could be, pregnancy, weight gain, weight loss. Our bodies change over time. It's natural, even with aging, right? We may not like it, but it is what it is, right? So I think going back to this idea of the self-talk and reminding yourself, and even, zooming out again, right? Like we can pick one part of our body and tear it apart. Or we can look at your body as a whole, you as a whole person, and think about what is your body capable of doing for you? What is the function that your body is serving, right? Like your body is allowing you to be in the bedroom and be more energetic and have all of these things, right? And then to remind ourselves that you may be seeing something and picking it apart and zooming in, but others probably aren't either. They're looking at you as a whole person, not just a whole body, but a whole person. So kind of reminding yourself of that as well. A great trick or a tip that I like to give people is to think, what would you say to a friend, right? If you said to your friend, oh, my boobs are so saggy, they're so low, your friends would probably be like, what do you mean? They're amazing. They look great. Right? So you need to be your own best friend in these kind of lower times or when you're not feeling so amazing.
Things have been going well for me. And like, I really like to say about the high points of everything I've gotten from a GLP-1, but there are hard days. There are days where I'm not feeling as confident or I'm not feeling as good. And even sometimes in the bedroom, I'm not feeling like my best self. Like, is that a common thing that happens?
I'm so glad you said this because it means you're human, right? We all have such a wide range of emotions as humans, and we are not supposed to feel amazing all of the time. That wouldn't be realistic, right? So I'm really glad you mentioned that because I think it can set ourselves up for failure or disappointment if we think that just losing X amount of weight or taking control of our health is going to make us feel incredible all the time. We all have icky days sometimes, and that's totally normal, right? So I like to think of it as on a spectrum. Some days are obviously much better than other days, and some days are a little lower than other days, and that's okay. And in terms of our body image and our confidence, the same thing goes for that, right? I don't expect you or even myself to wake up every morning being like, I love my body today, or I love every part of my body. That's normal to feel a little down, obviously for so many reasons. It could be even hormonal reasons, other things going on in our life, stress, so many different things can impact how we feel about ourselves. So, what matters is how we feel on most days. And if there's more days than not that we're feeling down, then, that I would say it's time to seek professional help and talk to your doctor about it. But it's completely normal to kind of have life go like this because that is life.
It's human.
Exactly. You're human. That's it.